are the Vantut Gwitchen, the people of the lakes. We work together, we hunt together, we play together, and we pray together. The land is our home here in the northern Yukon.
Caribou's there. Now I'm happy. I'm gonna eat good.
The land has kept us for thousands of years. But something is happening to our home. My name is Yudi Mercury. I am Vantut Gwitchen from Old Crow. I want to share with you what is happening to our homeland here in the Yukon's Arctic. Every year, my family goes north to Old Crow Flats to hunt, fish, and gather traditional foods from the land. We have been coming here for generations. It is the second largest wetland in North America, from before the pyramids were built. From the time that mammoths and giant beavers still roam the land. This is our bank, our grocery store, our playground, our church. We have passed on the ways of surviving in this land from generation to generation.
I remember when I was a child, my mom would take me everywhere with her. I was always on her back. She was carrying me with a baby strap and a blanket. And there are some times that I remember where she plopped me on the ground and leave me there for a long time while she's picking berries. And I would listen, I'd stare up at the sky and look at the trees around me and the plants. And I could hear everything. I could hear their voices, the mothers talking in our language. And I could hear the birds singing, and I could see everything. I found that that's really important to teach my child too. Ever since he was little, I took him out to the land and I put him down on the ground so that he can be quiet and he can feel and he can become connected to the land. I found that really helped him a lot to be able to open him up, to listen and to hear what's going on around him. The silence of nature or the animals that are around. It's so important to listen to those things, and I think that's very, very important to teach.
My grandmother used to talk to the ravens and talk and read the land and the water. Early in the morning before we'd get up, she'd step out of the tent in May and she'd stand there and wait for the ravens to come by. And then she'd lift her hands up and talk to them in Gwitchen. And she'd ask them, "Where are the caribou? When are they coming? If you let me know, I'll give you the caribou eye." And I'd always know when she'd come back with a sad look on her face what the ravens had said. But there was always that one time when she'd come in and she'd say, "Get ready, because the caribou are coming."
Our people are very closely connected to the land. Our life and culture are based on the porcupine caribou herd. It is the source of our food, our teaching, our traditional tools, and clothing. We know when it is healthy, and we know when it is not. And lately, our elders, our hunters, have seen disturbing changes. Scientists say climate change is happening around the world. In the northern Yukon, temperatures are expected to rise faster and higher than anywhere else in western North America. And we've already seen the signs. The permafrost is melting. Water systems are very low, in some cases completely dry. Hunters like Georgie Moses are already struggling with the collapse of fish stocks, a basic staple of ours. Salmon are declining very fast. He says it makes it hard for him to feed his dogs and sustain his way of life. And 3 years ago, on June 7th, 2007, our spring home for centuries, Zelma Lake, disappeared in just one day. The 20-kilometer square lake simply vanished when the banks around it melted away. It left nothing behind but cracked mud. Everything, the fish, the beavers, the muskrats, are all gone now.
This is going to change the entire ecosystems here. Usually this is where we get caribou. Caribou usually come here. We never even saw one set of tracks on Zelma Lake. This is where we get all our food, all the fish, muskrats, ducks, everything we get from this lake, and we have for many thousands of years. My ancestors have come here and lived and survived from Zelma Lake.
So, we went to the steps of the Yukon Territorial Legislature to make our concerns known.
Salmon is on a drastic decline. All our foods are on a drastic decline. We're going to have a real issue of food insecurity and health pertaining to our people, especially Indigenous peoples who live on the land. And I think it's time that, people take this very seriously. This is very serious here. This is not only the Eastern Arctic problem, this is a North Yukon or Yukon territorial problem as well. And we need to get some politicians to start doing something, to start planning forward, get some adaptation strategies with respect to food security here in the Yukon. And I think that's where we need to go, and that's why I'm here today.
Great, thank you.
We have taken our message to the world. You see, we can't go to the grocery store to get cheap foods. We are far from markets and everything must be flown in. It is very expensive to eat outside food. We have to find resources to feed ourselves. So, we held a symposium in January of 2009. Elders, youth, government, and scientists met to talk about our land and our food.
Mother Earth. We call Mother Earth because she gives us life. And just like our mother provides us with life and nurtures us.
And I think that's the big goal here, is that we want to make sure everybody in the community understands what the issues are. Not just, this one little sliver of the problem, and another sliver of the problem. Everybody as a whole group knows all of the problems and all of the challenges, and hopefully can start finding some of the solutions.
You take only what you need and nothing more. You give back to the land. Always respect the land, because if you don't, the land is going to take something from you, and you might not like what it's going to take.
The youth are paying attention, the communities are paying attention. We need to act now.